with. Okay, Rob, let's get right to it. You brought up last night, it was at our last segment of the show, actually, and you brought up that you think Jim Harbaugh should go back to the NFL. Now's the perfect time. And there was a story written by Bruce Feldman, former colleague of ours. I worked with Bruce both at the old network, ESPN, the magazine, and now he was at Fox for a little while with us as well.
And he's broken
good
stories.
College football.
What I mean.
Good college, great college football reporter. But Rob, you know this. You read the story. It's fine. It's a good story. It's a speculative story, though. It's not really like somebody coming out and saying Jim Harbaugh is going back to the NFL, or even Jim Harbaugh is considering going back to the NFL. It's kind of like an opinion piece, a column, and the one source that they have says this: I think it's real. So you have high standards. You know this isn't breaking news. It's just speculation, and speculation that I imagine you are in line with.
No doubt about it, Chris. All I'm going to do is this. Hello? Is this on? Jim Harbaugh, if you can hear the sound of my voice, run for the hills. Get out of Ann Arbor while you still have your name and your street cred. It was just a year ago that they cut your pay, they soiled your name, and no one in the NFL would even pick up the phone to talk to you. You were toxic. Your job at Michigan is done. Do not play yourself. Those easy-to-please fans in Ann Arbor are happy. They just want to be relevant. They just want to play in a big game. They think you're the king again. Don't lose that feeling, Jim Harbaugh. Iron you a pair of khakis, fill up the station wagon, grab the kids and the wife, and hightail it. You know why? You can't win at Michigan. Bo couldn't win the national championship at that place. I don't care how pretty your helmets are and how many kids go into the NFL from Michigan. When it comes to national championship, Michigan can't win. They have one split championship. It ain't even a real one. That's all Michigan has ever won. And this year, you got your comeuppance. Georgia embarrassed you. Turned your team to maize and poo. Did you smell that? I'm the poo-poo king. You can only disappoint from this point on. Trust me. Ohio State will be back for that ass next season. Face it. You can only go down at Michigan. They will say Jim could never win the big one. That's not what you want. This has been a public service announcement to Jim Harbaugh. Heed my warnings, mister.
That was nice. Not all that true, but nice. Look, Jim Harbaugh, do what you want to do. From my viewpoint, you should leave Michigan under one circumstance only. And that is if they refuse to pay you what you're worth. If they don't rip up your contract extension, he's got the extension right through 2025, okay? And pay you back in line with what you were being paid before, if not more. Because, Rob, we say it all the time, you're worth what somebody's willing to pay you.
Always.
And if somebody in the NFL, Chicago, Las Vegas, Denver, whoever, any team with a coaching vacancy, if they're willing to pay him $8, $9, $10 million a year, Jacksonville, then Michigan's got to ante up, unless he just wants to be there. He obviously has a history with Michigan. But you did take a pay cut. Rob, he took half of his pay, and rightly so. He was being paid
He's lucky
$8
to have a
million
job,
year,
Chris.
and last year they cut him to $4 million.
Chris, if he wasn't Jim Harbaugh, who played for Bo, who was a quarterback hero at that school, anybody else would have been dumped last year, except Jim Harbaugh.
Perhaps.
Last year.
Because here's the thing. He was not living up to the contract, and he wasn't living up to the expectations of what they expected when he got the job. But he was doing a solid job. He had returned them to national relevance. They had been ranked in the top 15 more than they had in recent memory under him. So he didn't deserve, I said this all along, Rob, he didn't deserve to be fired. He just didn't deserve to be a top 5 paid coach either. And that was what they corrected. Now, you probably got to correct it again. Because he went from $8 million to $4 million. Good on him. He could have been prideful. I'm sure he's got enough money where he could have been like, nah, forget you. I won't coach at all. But he swallowed his pride. He hired some new assistants. According to players and other reporters, he changed his ways to some degree, started listening more to players and assistant coaches. And he did a fantastic job. He was AP College Coach of the Year, got them into the playoffs. They'll be ranked in the Final Four, probably number 3 when it's all said and done. But here's my thing, Rob. The job is not done. And I get it. You're right. And I've said this all under his tenure. Michigan hasn't won national championships, right? Last one was 97, and that was mythical and shared, correct?
Right. Yep.
Right.
It's a mythical championship. That's the only one they have, Chris.
Right. So, and yeah, Bo Schembechler, the legend, never won a national championship. So that was, Harbaugh got him back to being a top 10, 12 program in the country. But Rob, getting to the playoff 1 year, does that restore everything? I mean, Michigan State got to the playoff in 2016, 2017? Nobody looks at them as a powerhouse program. So what I think the job for Jim Harbaugh to do is make Michigan a powerhouse program, not just a top 10 program. And I'm not even saying you got to win the national championship. It'd be nice. Maybe this will help you recruit. You send enough players to the NFL. That's for darn sure. You got to get a quarterback. One thing, Rob, he has not been able to get him a quarterback.
He's a quarterback whisperer, I thought.
Well, he needs to start screaming then because the whispering's not working. If he can get the quarterback position solidified, he's got talent elsewhere. But, Rob, how about making them a mainstay in the college football playoff conversation? How about in the next 4 years getting them there 2 more times? At least. Like, that is when the job would be done, Rob. 1 year the job's not done. Heck, Cincinnati's in the freaking playoff. You think anybody's looking at them as a national power? Luke Fickles did a great job. He'll probably be out of there in short order. But no, I mean, this is nice. It was a great year. You deserve all the accolades. You deserve a raise. But you're not walking out of there like Mike Tyson circa 1987. You're not walking out of there like Nick Saban. You're not walking out of there like Bill Belichick. You still got work to do. Why go to the Bears, to the Raiders, to the Broncos, to the Jaguars, where you might not win a dang thing? You got something, you came there to build it, now you build it, now sustain it. That's what I'm calling on him to do, Rob Parker. He still got work to do. You talking about run, like tuck your tail and run. You're calling him a coward. You're calling for him to be cowardly. You can't win, Jim. Run for the hills.
Run, Jim, run. Run, Forrest, run. Run, Jim, run.
What if he loses in the NFL? What if he I mean, he
He
won't pull
already
an
went to
Urban
the
Meyer,
Super Bowl in
but
the
what if he
NFL.
what if he
He's
has
had
no
success.
Yeah, but that don't mean he's going to do it this time.
Yeah, get out of Dodge when you can before they come to string you up. Get out of Dodge.
Hey, I think they're going to give him a pay raise.